Oh, thank God. When Ray said he wanted us to get closer, I was worried that he was going to pull the one bed in the room shtick, so it's at least nice to see that there are two of them in here. The fact that you would even think for a second that I would take the floor for you is hilarious, but luckily, I get to spare you the embarrassment and degradation. There is no way that we both took a 5-hour flight here, and you somehow have the energy to argue about which bed you want. They're the same bed. Get over it. They are less than 5 feet apart from each other. It would take maybe 10 more steps max to get to the bathroom if you slept in the one next to the window. And if you can't hold it in for 10 more steps, then you should definitely consider getting that checked out. But if you insist, I'll make myself the martyr and take the bed next to the wonderful view of the dumpster and trees. I'm a martyr because I think your excuse about the bed is stupid, that's my belief, and I'm 60% sure that you're gonna kill me in my sleep. Well, I can't be both spineless and a serial killer, so you gotta make up your mind at some point, or at least stop contradicting yourself, because that is not a good look on you. You can keep scowling and pouting at me as much as you want. While you waste your energy, I'm going to go shower. Yeah, I already showered this morning, but I was sitting next to an old dude who couldn't stop farting on the flight, and I desperately need to get that stench off of me. Okay, I'll give it to you. That was a good one. Seriously, though, I'm gonna go do that. Are you going to need it afterwards? Well, no, I was just asking because if you were, I was going to let you know that I might piss all over the floor of the tub. Who knows if I would be able to make the trek to the toilet? Wow. We both complimented each other in the past 30 seconds. While I'm in there, make sure to check outside and see if the whole landscape is frozen over. I consider any plane of existence with you on it to be hell, so that checks out. Yo, slow down there. 2 compliments in a row? If you don't stop, you're gonna make me think that you like me or something. And right back down to earth again. All right, I'll be out in a little bit. Now, call me crazy, but I could have sworn I heard you talking to someone on the phone out here. Did old Johnny boy miss his Dommy mommy too much and couldn't go a whole day without following a command? You know, I usually like when you're silent, but this is getting weird. Hello? Earth to Satan? Anyone in there? Yes, I do not have a shirt on. That is how I sleep. We are in a hotel room, which is a place often used for sleeping. Thus, no shirt. Did you catch all that? I knew that would snap you out of whatever that was. Anyways, was that Johnny that you were talking to on the phone? Yeah, that is a pretty crazy assumption for me to think that you would ever be in contact with your boyfriend. How stupid can I get? Come on now. You think I'm going to fall for the head hang trick after how many times you've done that to me? Get the... Nope, you're right. That does sound like a serious voice. I'm sorry. I know you probably don't want to hear this right now, but even taking into consideration how I feel about you, there was absolutely no shot that that prick was good enough for you. He's the most sniveling, pathetic, and insufferable man-child that I've ever had the displeasure of meeting, and he should consider himself lucky that you scraped the bottom of the barrel for his company. Cheating on you? I didn't even know that little guy had reproductive organs. And if he did, I would have put my money on the fact that instead of what should come out, tears come out of it instead. Lacey? As in Lacey Pembroke? Seriously? Do you not know? His parents are filthy rich, right? And he obviously has a humiliation fetish considering the fact that he, dated you. Nah, I'm joking, but good news, maybe. The two of them are not dating. He is now her cash cow. Yeah, Lace goes around to all of the biggest simps in school and drains them of everything they have without having to even lay a finger on them. So, if it makes you feel any better, he didn't technically cheat on you, unless you consider him getting whipped by someone who has no romantic feelings for him at all to be cheating. I literally told you he was a loser from the beginning, but you didn't listen to me. He would basically cling to your side at whatever event you took him to, and he didn't even speak to anyone. He just stood there with his eyes darting around, looking at everyone like a rabbit, surrounded by coyotes or something. I know this because Lace and I are pretty cool. She used to babysit for my younger brother a couple years back, and she is way more chill than you would think. She's in Renaissance literature with me, and we hang out every couple weeks or so. I could probably get her to send me a video of him pretending to be a dog if you want that type of closure in your life. I was just kidding. Kinda. Since you have made it very clear that you were not on the phone with that loser, then who were you on the phone with? I have a feeling that might be the answer to that. Hey man, how is it going? Yeah, sure, 1 second. And there you are, and you can keep the change. Have a great rest of your night. All right. Oh, don't worry about it. Seriously. Think of this as your special free, sorry that you got cheated on kinda by a loser who never deserved you pizza. Just don't start expecting this to become a regular occurrence, all right? So I take it since you ordered pizza that you must not be tired, right? Good, because I am not tired either, especially fresh out of that shower, and I would like to postpone your snoring for as long as possible. You do snore, and I knew you would say that you don't snore, so I specifically took an audio recording of you doing so on that flight, and I can pull that out if you want to keep denying it. That's what I thought. So are you going to keep staring at me with that blank expression that you've had on your face, or are you going to eat this sorry pizza while we watch something? I know I've been giving you a hard time, and don't act like you haven't been doing the same, but now that I know the mental state you're in and what you've been going through for the past week, I think it should be fine to call a truce for the night. Or at least as much of a truce as the two of us can make. Deal. Here is your pizza, and while you get started on that, how about I try and find something for us to watch? The 700 Club is an insane pull, first of all. Second of all, there's no way you think I'm that type of guy. I just told you that one of my good friends is a dominatrix, basically. Okay, we have HBO and Cinemax. This is good for actual movies and not cable cuts where half of the scenes are missing and the swear words are horrendously ADR'd by some silly sayings. Perfect. The 2019 Little Women just started. Yeah, I have seen it before. I went with my friend on opening night. He seems to have a lot of luck with Gerwig films, considering he met his new girlfriend while going to see Barbie last month. You didn't know I liked movies? Well, I didn't know you liked movies. Isn't she great in this? I know Saoirse Ronan and Timothée Chalamet are amazing and everyone talks about their performances, but it really is Florence Pugh who holds everything together. Her presence on screen and her transformation throughout the film is incredible. I also think nobody talks about Laura Dern enough for the warmth that she brings to the entire thing, which is so important for a Little Woman adaptation. You are definitely right. I haven't seen her in a role that she hasn't been good in, honestly. She was sensational in Baby Teeth and The Starling Girl. If somebody didn't know better, they would probably say that we're bonding right now, wouldn't they? Yeah, we are technically in the middle of a truce, so I guess we are bonding. How is the pizza? I've always had the experience that Domino's is a hit or miss depending on the location, except for their stuffed cheesy bread. That stuff is amazing no matter where you are. That's fair. It is pretty difficult to mess up a simple pepperoni pizza, so good call on your part. Huh? Does it have to be a movie where she's the lead, or can it just be one where she's in it? There's a part of me that wants to say Lady Macbeth, but I have to be honest. If she doesn't play Dany in Midsommar, that whole film does not work. Her performance there was the linchpin holding the entire tapestry together, and it was something else. I know, basic answer, but sometimes the most basic answer is the right one, you know? Hey, can I also ask you a question? It's a little off topic, but this whole conversation kind of got me thinking about it. Do you remember the first day of debate club? Haha, very funny. I was not asking for the exact date, although that's pretty impressive that you pulled that out of thin air. I was asking if you remembered the first time we met. I know, I try to push it out of my mind too, but talking to you like this gave me pretty vivid flashbacks to our first day in the club together. Yeah, we were. Just like this. We just sat there in the back of the lecture hall and talked each other's ear off the entire time, besides when we went up there separately to do our first practice round. In fact, even after practice ended, we just sat there and kept talking until the janitor came in and told us we had to leave because the building was about to close. Me too! I almost did, but I thought it would be kind of odd giving you my number after one conversation. Plus, I figured I would have had a ton of other opportunities to do so at the countless amount of meetings we'd be attending together. You're on fire. Yeah, and then we didn't. You know what? We're already this far in, and who knows when I'm going to have the opportunity to ask you this again, so I'm going to go for it. What soured you on me between the first meeting and the second? You never came up to me ever again, and anytime we made eye contact, you looked like you wanted to cut me into pieces and send me away forever. That's true. I did too, but I had a reason. So we both had reasons why we suddenly started hating each other? Should we say what they are? I don't know. I guess this is just nice, and I never thought I'd be here with you in this context, and I'm dying to know why you started hating me. Do I have to? I guess since I'm pushing this, I can go first. Sure. A couple of days after our meeting, I got a text from Ray because he was the guy who brought me into the club in the first place, and he told me that you wanted me out of the club. He said you told him that I was a distraction and I was mean-spirited and that I had no business being there because I wasn't good at debating in the first place. I had a lot of friends in high school who used to go behind my back and talk massive amounts of crap about me, and I decided that in college I wasn't going to stand for any of that. So as much as I wanted to talk to you the next week, I was too jaded and ticked off to do anything about it. Alright, that is what happened on my end. Now it's your turn. I get that in retrospect it was kinda childish, but I don't think me divulging my emotional trauma is worthy of the silent treatment. Okay, you have to say something because at this point you are killing me. He what? If you don't tell me that you're joking immediately, I'm going to let out a blood-curdling scream into this pillow. There is no way that this is happening. There is no way that we have been played like fools this easily. My God. If this is true, and he did tell both of us the same thing, he's a genius. We're the best two debaters in the club, and there's no real competition, right? We can be humble later, but this is to make a point. So he sees that we're the two best options he has, and he knows us both beforehand, so he knows how competitive we can get. In his mind, what's the next logical step? Exactly. He knew that if we hated each other, we would try to one-up the other every chance we could. He used our anger to fuel the team to where we are right now. Honestly, I am livid and seething right now, but some part of me can't help but feel impressed. Wait, do you think this was part of the plan too? Do you think he put us in the same room together intentionally so we would squash our beef the night before the biggest competition? So instead of going out there with malice, we go out there with companionship and teamwork? I know. That's insane. I knew he was a little mischievous, but a 6-month-long con is psycho. Yeah, here we are. You know what the worst part is? I never really hated you. Ever. I convinced myself that I did, but there was a certain part inside of me that knew that I was just really hurt that somebody who I hit it off with so immediately and so amazingly would put on that sort of an act in front of me. When I told you that I was considering giving you my number, I was actually considering asking you out on a date. There was something between us that I had never experienced before, and I still haven't experienced. And I think the reason that I relentlessly go at you is because since I thought you hated me, it was the only way I could really interact with you. Sure, it gets out of hand sometimes, but the teasing and jabbing at each other were always the favorite parts of my day. Really? Could you have imagined if we did go on a date that night? I don't think any of this would have happened. I mean, Ray is obviously, as proven tonight, a little bit nuts, but I don't really think he has it in him to be a homewrecker. Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed that timeline a little bit more too. What do you mean? What do you mean? So, just act like none of this ever happened. Like we've been stuck in time ever since we both left that lecture hall and we're finally pressing play. Okay, I can do that. And if we're doing that, there's one thing that I've been regretting about not doing that night, actually. Let me show you. So, I have a plan. Would you like to hear it? How about you come into my bed? How about I come into your bed, since, you can't come into this one because you can't hold your bladder, apparently. We cuddle up and fall asleep to Little Women. We wake up tomorrow and go win regionals. And then we go to lunch and talk about this all on our first date. I hope you don't think I'm moving too fast, though, since we just met and all. Yeah, I'd love to kiss you some more, too. Let me get on over there then. I don't know. I don't really like Meryl Streep. I know, she's an icon. It's just how many years can you get nominated for an Oscar over more deserving people? Like, come